Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Want to talk a little hitting today. One of our former Antonelli baseball players has a page on Instagram where he talks about hitting, and I saw one of his videos today, and I ended up putting it over on my Instagram, and I've gotten a bunch of questions about it. It's with Bregman. I'm going to throw it up here in a second, and he's talking about basically keeping his path really short. He talks about keeping his forearm and his bicep really close together. So let me throw it up now and then let's discuss it.
I want to have my forearm and bicep tight together because I feel like as soon as there's space there, there's length in the swing. And I want to be from A to B as short as possible.
Okay, so you can see the move that he makes right there when he talks about keeping the forearm close to the bicep, right? He's kind of in here, and he talks about how he wants to have this short path, as short as possible. He says A to B, right? And when he makes the other move where the forearm gets away, he kind of starts showing this move right here, right? Where the hand and the forearm start getting away from the bicep. And so I want to talk about this a little bit because this is a problem I see with a lot of players, especially a lot of young players. And a lot of players I don't think understand, first, what's happening, and then second, why it's happening, and how to correct it, okay? And so for me, I don't really talk about keeping the forearm close to the bicep, but we do talk a lot about the arms versus the hands. And so I want to show the move and describe it in a little different way, right? What I see happen with younger players is when they make this move, when the barrel starts to go, they make a move where there's a lot of arm action in the move. So the arms, especially this rear arm, is making this big move right here, but the hands aren't really doing anything, right? So it's more of an arm action, and the barrel and the bat just kind of drag behind, right? And so you hear Bregman talk about length. I can't get the barrel delivered on time, and I can't be quick if I have a lot of this arm action and my barrel isn't really doing anything, right? It's just kind of back here, back here, back here, back here. My arms are doing a lot. The barrel really isn't doing anything. Now, the opposite of that would be, and in my opinion, when we talk about turning the barrel, right? So a lot of times on our Instagram page or on our YouTube videos, we talk about turning the barrel. Well, if I'm gonna turn this barrel, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't smash my pictures right here, but if I'm gonna start to turn this barrel, it can't be an armsy action like this. It's got to be more of a hands action. And when you do start to turn your hands, right, when you start to get palm up, palm down with your hands, notice that your arms will start to move, but it's not my arms that are doing it, leaving the barrel behind. It's my hands that are doing it, and now all of a sudden my arms start to move. So we talk about a lot how this lead arm has to work up and the rear arm works under. But if I start to turn my hands and get my palm, this palm up and this palm down, and I start to get the knob turned up, well, now my lead arm starts to work up. See how my lead arm's working up? See how my rear arm's working under? But it's not just an arm action to where the barrel gets left behind and dragged. So we call it, you know, dragging the barrel or just bat drag. Again, if I'm doing this and my arms are going, but my hands really aren't doing anything, they're not turning, it's more of an arms action. Well, now the barrel's way back here. And now the elbow, this elbow a lot of times will lead, and the barrel drags and it gets way below the ball. And so you see a long, slow bat path, a lot of inconsistent contact, and you see yourself under the ball a lot. Okay, so think about that when you're looking at your swing and you're looking in video. If you feel like, and it's pretty, once you get an eye for it, it's pretty obvious when you see a barrel that just takes forever to get to the zone. And then if you can't see it, go look at it on video, film it, look it on video, and slow it down, and you'll see again probably a lot of arm action and not a lot of hand action. Okay, so again the keys are let the hands feel like the hands are going to turn. Palm up, palm down, and that's going to get the arms to start to turn. All right? Talking with a lot of Major League players over the years, and if you go and talk to most Major League players, I say this all the time, a lot of players will talk about using their hands. For me, when they say using their hands, and I don't even know if a lot of times when they say it, they even know what exactly their hands are doing. They just know that they feel their hands working. This move right here, this move, when I start to make this move, and it's more of a hands action, that's what I feel like players are feeling. Now, sometimes people will interpret that, and even players sometimes will show this move. But for me, again, that's not the move they make. They just feel hands, and they think this because the barrel's up here and the ball's down there, but they're actually making that move right there. Another thing with your rear elbow is if it's getting ahead, if you notice it's getting ahead, one, again, too much arm action, not enough hands making the turn. The second thing is, see where your elbow is when your bat finally launches. And so we talk about having our elbow behind our hands, right? And so when I get ready to hit, my elbow should be somewhere behind my hands. Now you'll see some guys slightly lower. You'll see some guys really tip the bat and they get their elbow up a little bit higher. But with a lot of young players, what I see is that when they're ready to hit, their elbow's way down here. And so my elbow's here, and now they start to go, and they get into that move right away. And this elbow starts to lead, right? Again, a lot of arms, barrel gets left behind. So if I'm setting up and I'm going to launch and I'm like this, you're going to get this a lot. So the elbow's got to be behind the hands. Now, when you start to turn your hands, I'm in position now where my arm is going to naturally, this arm's going to work under, this arm's going to work up. I'm turning the barrel with my hands, and now I've got a much shorter, quicker path. And that's the kind of move that Bregman is showing right there. And again, in Bregman's mind, I've seen him, some other videos. He thinks he takes his hands almost like straight across his chest like this. He doesn't exactly do that, but I will say that Bregman has one of the shortest, quickest swings in the league. It's a reason he can hit 330 and hit 40 homers, right? And it looks like basically nothing can beat him. Like, it looks like you could throw the ball in here and he could still get to it, right? And that's one of the reasons, is because he has that really quick turn of the hands, and it's not an armsy swing. All right? So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, share with all your friends, all that good stuff. I think I said that already. We'll talk to you later.